Yeah, what's up?
Hey, you ready to do that video?
Oh, you mean like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Who's around you right now?
No one? Why?
You're sure about that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why?
Oh, okay, give me like 2 seconds, okay?
Alright,
Okay.
bye.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, what's up? Y'all ready to do this?
Oh, hey, Chips.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the panel.
Well, today we're gonna be talking about what do you think about most? I think we'll have a pretty diverse group of thoughts going on here, but
Especially because Zach is here. Who knows
Especially.
what he's gonna say?
yeah. But let's Zach, why don't you start us off? What do you think about most?
What I would think about most would probably be what 4 superpowers would you have? How would you use them? And I want you to keep in mind these superpowers would be at their maximum level. My top 4 would have to be super speed, because then I wouldn't need to rely on a car. I could get multiple jobs, or not multiple jobs, but I can get to my jobs faster, so I can leave like 1 second or like 5 seconds before work, get there quickly.
Mm-hmm.
My second one would be having the ability to create like clones of myself, but to where those clones are only temporary, and if I wanted I could just snap them out of existence, and anything they learned while they were still in existence, then that knowledge would automatically transfer over to me. Third one would be telekinesis. Mostly because I want to use it to like go to a toy store or whatever, pick up a little stuffed animal and make them chase the children.
So you'd basically be an evil Sith Lord,
Basically.
and you would terrorize people.
Oh, and my last one would be able to mimic any sound or voice I hear perfectly. And I would use it to sing karaoke a lot better.
I like that.
Would y'all's be?
Russ?
Well, I mean, if I was gonna go with 4, I mean, it's probably gonna be the super speed, because speed control is time control. Best way to think about it. Another one would probably be, I wouldn't say fly, but definitely the ability to levitate.
I mean, I know I'm a little bit like cheating with this, but basically I want to be able to wield the Force.
Okay.
Because if you can wield the Force, you have basically mind control, you have super speed, you have super strength, you have telekinesis, you have all these things. So that would be mine.
Well, I think mine would be the same as super speed, traveling throughout time and space.
So what you think about most is superpowers and what you could be if you had those superpowers, right?
Shoot, yes, I would straight up be a superhero.
Well, who wouldn't want to be a superhero? What about you, Sean? What type of things do you like think about? What dominates your thoughts usually?
Well, I mean, since I started writing my book, a lot of what goes through my mind is basically just building the idea of my story.
By the way, tell us real quick what your book is going to be about, like in a general scope.
Okay, well, my story that I'm writing is a Rashomon style story told in a pretty far off future where humans can no longer make the chemical compounds for emotion, and everyone is given a pill that they take. It's called J. It stands for joy. Go figure. The company's tagline that provides it is "Everyone deserves to be happy."
We have
That's deep.
it kind of sounds like the game, like one of the games that came out.
We
Yes.
Happy Few.
Yes. So my story is a mix, kind of We Happy Few and almost like The Giver.
Okay.
In a sense. It's told from multiple perspectives. I know how the story begins and ends. It's the middle part that I find the journey of writing any story, whether that's a book or in music especially.
Mm-hmm.
It would be kind of cool if they were to, like, We Happy Few, the makers of it, were to get your book, read it, and then kind of like try to
Make it like a continuity type thing.
yeah, like put the book inside either We Happy Few as an Easter egg, or like put it in another game that they make.
I mean, it'd be cool, but as a no-named author, more than likely it's not going to happen. It'd be cool though. I agree.
It'd be like Star Wars before Disney said the books weren't canon.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Legends thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's cool. And have you gotten any publishers, or have you looked into publishers or anything like that?
I have a few that I'm looking into at the moment. More than likely, I'm going to go with another one of my friends that publishes books as well.
Okay.
His publisher, they're pretty good. I just need to get in touch with like their editors once I actually go through and write the entire book.
We'll definitely let you guys know whenever that's out, so you guys can get your own copy. I guess for me, one of the things that, obviously, like, I'm a Christian, and my relationship with God is like number one. I think about that every day, every waking moment. That's a very present thing in my mind. But aside from that, I guess like in a broader spectrum, I think a lot about my future. There's a lot of aspects that go into that. My future involving my family, involving my business. I'm actually just trying to start a business with Nathaniel, and he and I want to start a music studio. So that's kind of been on my thoughts a lot. Thinking about what gear to get, thinking about how I'm going to save money to start this business. Starting a business is not a cheap thing. It involves a lot of things. And so, but we have the dream, we have the creativity, we just have to, figure some things out. So I guess that dominates my thoughts a lot. Family, like I said, who my family's going to be, my future, what kind of person I want to be for them. That's kind of a pretty prominent thing in my mind. And so also, I guess music is my main passion. Like, I love doing YouTube, and YouTube is great. It's kind of a new love that I've developed, a love for cinematography, a love for just filming and editing and all that stuff. It's been really fun to do this, but music is my main passion, and ultimately that's kind of my when I'm playing music, I feel the most passionate, I feel the most alive. Like, I just feel like I'm on a mountaintop. Like, I feel so good when I'm playing music. And so music is definitely one of the biggest things on my mind. I think about music. I'm always tapping on myself. I'm always like, I have a rhythm inside of me. I have melodies and bass lines and different things in my mind. So definitely, if I could boil it down, it'd probably be like God, my future, my family, my business, and my music.
Now, how would you say you get your inspiration for all your songs that you write?
From other musicians. I mean, when it's kind of like, even YouTube works the same way too, or any craft, writing in your case, or video game developers, or anything like that. You have to kind of look at what's out there. You kind of have to like pick little crumbs here and there from what you like, and you kind of make your own style. You make your own. You take those ingredients and you make it your own, and you make your own style. So music for me has been kind of the same thing, the same type of relationship with the artists that I listen to. I basically get ideas from here, and I blend it into my own style that I like. So that's kind of where I get that. Those are the things that kind of have been on my mind. What about you?
Well, lately what's been on my mind is just getting through college right now at the moment. I went in to major in game programming because I love playing a whole bunch of games. It's a hobby, it's a passion. I want to be able to make games like Call of Duty wise, or Fallout, or Skyrim. I think that'd be pretty fun to do.
Like, do you want to work with a certain company, or do you want to just build something from the ground up?
Well, personally, I would want to do both. Get experience in working with a company and doing my own type of thing.
So, like, basically, would you be building, like, new game engines, or would this be, like, working off of game engines that are already out there?
I'll definitely try to work off of game engines that are out there. I mean, there's some good ones. You got Frostbite, Unreal Engine.
Unreal's been around for a while, huh?
Yes, it has, and I believe Unity is one. But yeah, but trying to figure out on how to create my own game engine would be pretty cool. Make it more, realistic, more than like facial capture is these days. So I think it'd be better to improve it, tweak it a bit.
Who would you want most to do like voice actings in games that you make personally?
Personally, I would want one of my favorite YouTubers to do that, which is Markiplier.
He's got a really
Very
good
well
voice.
known.
I can't say that I'm familiar with him, but you like his voice a lot?
Dude, his voice is like really deep and smooth.
Like you
So,
can
like,
listen to him like before you nap or while you nap, and it
Like he put me to sleep in a couple of his videos.
Does he do ASMR or no?
What's ASMR?
in a way he has, cause he'll do the world's quietest let's play. Well, he'll get real close to the mic and
Yeah,
start talking.
That's definitely ASMR. That's cool. So how would you guys say those thoughts directly influence your life? How do you what happens when you guys think about these things that are on your mind constantly, and how does that change the way you live or what you do throughout your day?
Personally, with the superpowers one, I'll go through like comic books or manga / anime and look at their powers and then try to come up with my own ones and come up with a description and a way you can defend against it. Like in this one anime I'm watching right now, it's called My Hero Academia, and they don't call them superpowers, they just call them quirks. And each quirk is different from others, or they have similar ones. So basically, if two people who have quirks, if they have a child, that child could either have a combo of both of their quirks, or a quirk that's either one-sided to each one.
What about like in X-Men, how the children of different mutants have different powers that aren't like the parents?
That one's kind of weird for me, because it's like your parents have these powers, but it's not like, it doesn't mix them together.
But how would you say that affects your daily life? Like how, obviously everyone wants to be a hero. Does that make you a more morally, like a better person morally? Does that affect the way that you act? Does that affect your workout routine? Does that affect, like superheroes have certain standards, certain attributes. To wield power is a responsibility, right? So how does that change your daily living? Like how does that make you want to be a better person?
It makes me want to be a better person and I kind of want to start trying to be nice as I can with everyone, but I don't want to become nice enough to where people just walk on me like a doormat.
Now, this is funny because just the other day Zach told me that if he had superpowers, he would be a villain. And he's talking about being nice, so can you explain that a little bit?
Well, my friend Gabriel here kind of calls me a, how did you put it?
What?
Sadistic, what?
Sadistic, he's the nicest, most sadistic, evil person that I know, if that makes any sense.
I mean, he could be
So if I was a villain, I could be nice to everyone, but then I can have that little tipping point to where you push me over it.
Kind of like Enigma?
So would you say you're like the original Hank Pym from the like older Ant-Man comics?
What a reference.
What do you mean?
Nice.
Well,
Can you,
in the comics, he suffers from a disorder, a multiple personality disorder, where he forgets who he is. He becomes his own villain. He becomes his own hero.
So does this mean that he's Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket?
Yes.
Huh. I think that's an interesting way to put it.
Basically, Zach would be the guy that's like, "Hi, how are you doing? I'm Zach, and
Then
I'm here to kill you. But
slowly-
how would you like to go? Do you
Okay.
want a quick bullet to the head? Do you want to feel pain?
Dude,
Do
it
you-
sounds like Negan.
See, like he's like
from,
super
Walking
nice,
Dead.
but he has like all these weird like sadistic ideas. Sometimes I'm like, bro, like, chill. Like, where do you like? You need to like cleanse your thoughts a little bit. You need to like
We need the Bible.
stop thinking about killing people. But yeah, anyway.
Oh man. Let me go get something real quick.
Oh,
Y'all gonna take y'all's
I think this might be a time.
Alright, guys, let's shoot him now.
Well, as far as like how my life is affected by by what I think about. Obviously, someone who has a fair amount of free time, I do spend a lot of time conceptualizing my book and thinking about characters and their perspectives. Where my main character is me. He has a different name, but he's entirely me. He thinks exactly how I think. He would say exactly what I would say. He's me. But figuring out how other characters would think and act has really put me in a situation where I have to go outside of my norms in the sense of how would I react here, or well, that's not how I would react if I was this way. And it's really given me the opportunity to really walk a mile in someone's shoes, even though that someone is completely fictional. It's still a thing that you can do and kind of better yourself with.
And I would say, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but even on a practical aspect, wouldn't your, like, doesn't that make you a better writer? Like, doesn't that make you a better thinker and a better, like, I would assume that it makes your vocabulary better, like just writing a book and all that.
Yeah, it definitely has expanded my my vernacular in ways that I could never explain prior. But I mean, I would say it does make you a better writer to kind of just even if you're writing just a short story or an essay, just to do it. A lot of times that when I was in high school, I hated writing. I hated it with a passion. I was more of a math and sciences guy. But when I wrote about subjects that I liked and I cared about, I didn't feel like I was writing anything. I just felt like more I was almost giving a speech. But here's my script.
Right.
And my teacher didn't understand that, so when I write a 400,000 page essay on Beowulf, and they're like, that's about way more than what we asked for. I was like, I know, I just couldn't get all my thoughts out. And then when it comes to some other, like, can you explain why the door was blue?
Because it was blue.
Because the door was blue.
Back in high school, I was horrible at writing, but my teacher's like, hey, you can write about whatever you want. You can make it as dark and gruesome as you want.
Of course.
And it was like a poem or whatever. And I wrote the poem, she read it, and she was like, and then she made me go to the principal because of it.
She's basically like, stop writing.
Yeah.
No, but see, that just illustrates whenever you're passionate about something, whenever you love to do
You
something.
always have those people that like try to crush it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but-
also, I mean, you're so much more productive when it's actually something you're passionate about. It's no longer work. It's just a joy and a pleasure to do that thing. So
So who would you say is like an author that inspired you to like you write?
Ooh, the author that's inspired me.
Christy Golden?
No. I don't really think I can pull too much from anyone else. I mean, if I was gonna claim a single individual to kind of say he's my favorite author and kind of shape, I guess Orson Scott Card would be one of them. I mean, Ender's Game is one of my favorite novels, of all time. The Ender's series is so good. And even though the movie that came out on my birthday a few years ago was trashed by critics, I loved it because it's.
Hey, you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. They're on someone's payroll.
Yeah.
Back when I was still in pre-AP English, because I was chosen to be put in it for some reason, they gave us Ender's Game to like review over the summer and write over a summary over each chapter. I did not get that thing done until like mid-year, and the lady was like, "I'll give you full credit if you can bring at least like 10 of the chapters with a summary in it back to me."
Yeah.
Then I did it, and she completely failed me for that thing.
That's the way it works sometimes. I guess for me, like, one of the, like, a way that my thoughts influence the way that I live. I mean, like I said, God, my relationship with God is very important to me, and obviously I choose to live in a way that
You make him your priority number one,
right,
and everything else is after.
I adhere to his ways and all that. As far as my future, my family, I think of what type of father I would want to have and what type of husband I want to be and all these things. And so that just makes me, thinking about all these things, like it makes me a better person. And it makes me, I feel like a lot of people in life, they feel like, it's almost like they have this mentality of when I arrive, I'll become this type of person. Or like when I find the right person, then I'll be like this type of person. But I think it's all about, if you want to give birth to it, you have to become it. And so you have to be who you want to attract, in a sense. And you have to become the type of person that you want to ultimately be now, not wait for the future. So, and then as far as business goes, you know, working a lot, saving money, that obviously affects, you know, thinking about all the projects that I want to do and all the things that I want to do with this YouTube channel, with my music, with the music studio that I'm starting. Obviously, like, that pushes me and motivates me to work harder in order to make all this stuff come true. Because let's be honest, practically speaking, money is like, you need money to get stuff done. You need to, I mean, you can't just dream and, you know, Shia LaBeouf your way into your dreams, you know? Like, you can't just flex and then they're gonna come true. Like, you have to actually go out and put in the work. And that's not just money, that means practicing my instrument, like getting good at my craft. That means putting in the work in so many different areas, like researching, getting knowledge, seeing how other musicians are doing it, how, you know, learning cinematography techniques, learning all these things. So it forces me, these thoughts force me and push me towards working to become that person that I want to be. So your desire to make these games, like, how does that affect your daily life? What are you doing right now to prepare for that? Or how does that change what you do throughout your day?
I don't know, it just randomly comes up in thoughts when I'm just working or I'm at home by myself or playing video games. I try to break down how each game works, what the structure is of the code. Just wanting to like inspire others to do great things would be pretty amazing.
Nice.
Okay.
Feel that well. I mean, anything else you want to say before we go get, what is it?
Generic fast food chain.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
open
wanted
24
to
hours.
ask you a couple questions.
Yeah, what's up?
What musician and what I guess vlogger or inspired you to do?
Well, okay, let me start with music. My music influences are very vast and very, like,
Diverse.
very diverse. I don't just listen to one genre, I listen to a bunch of genres. So, But I guess one of the main ones would be Aaron Gillespie. I grew up listening to Under Oath, and their stuff really, it just hit like my funny bone, like my music bone, if you can call it that. Like it really just got me, and
Excuse me.
their music has like this emotion, this, I will say this. I may be a little biased by saying this, but I don't believe that any other generation can match the teenage angst of 2005 to 2006 scene kids. You just can't. So when I was a scene kid back then, and I was like, yeah, those were dark times, but I was like 15 and 16. That, listening to those bands, Under Oath, we had, that's whenever My Chemical Romance was like really big. We had bands like Alisana,
Like 182.
like that hair right there. That's like emo hair basically. But all these bands, like they kind of gave me that passion. And then later on, as I matured a little bit as a musician, I started listening to bands like Pliny, bands like Scale the Summit, bands like Animals as Leaders, Periphery. And I got into a little bit more of the gent genre. I kind of got bored with just regular like screamo, and I got into a little more like complex polyrhythms and things like that. Just kind of matured as a musician. Now I still listen to classical in there, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of Latin jazz, different things like that. But for the most part, those were the biggest influences in my life. Shout out to John Williams because he's amazing. I guess for YouTube, to answer your question, my biggest influences, I can say two. I'm Casey Neistat and Logan Paul. I mean, you guys watch their vlogs, their YouTube, and it's so engaging, and no matter what they're doing, it's entertaining. And ultimately, that I can get a lot of techniques from them and stuff, and I don't necessarily want to copy them at all, but they are great at what they do, and I can always learn from them.
You got like Logan Paul, who's more of like a comedic vlogger, and then you got
He's also
Casey. How do you
Casey Neistat.
Neistat, who's more into like.
He's artsy.
Yeah, he's very artsy. He knows how to get good angles with his cameras.
In fact, I'll be honest with you guys. The intro to this video was a little bit inspired by Casey, so shout out to Casey. But yeah, he's very inspirational. I love watching his videos because I always feel inspired because he's always creating. He pushes me to be creative and to really not put limitations on myself. So those are the I guess the influences that I have. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to go get food.
That generic fast food.
Yes. It will remain unnamed. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
all right. Love you guys. Bye.